Today we're going to be installing our Asphalt Killerz exhaust for a Porsche Carrera 84 and 86 with a 3.2 motor. We've already taken the exhaust off. Some of you guys will have a cat here. It's the same length. This car does not have a catalytic converter, has a test pipe. So as many cars have, they've been altered. This one's had the brace because it did not have a stock exhaust. The brace was cut off. But once you pull your bands, there's two bands here, you pull those off, you take your three M8s, you may have to cut them off depending on how old they are, take them off. This will be all free. What we're gonna do, if you wanna come around here, we're gonna go ahead and remove these two bolts here. But to do that, what we need to do is we need to loosen these two clamps, which we've already done. And when you loosen the clamps, you can actually pull this aside, just like this, and you can get to these two bolts here. We're gonna go ahead and take these bolts out to remove this. I would not throw this away. This piece is about $100. You could probably clean it up and sell it. So we've broke these loose, and we're gonna go ahead and take these off. So you can see we've actually removed this. If your car does have AC, you're gonna have this bracket. If you do not have this bracket, we are supplying you with the bolts and a washer for this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna supply this. If you do not have the AC bracket, you're gonna use this with the supplied bolt and washer. And we're gonna show you how that bolts up. So now that you have this done, you just leave it out, and we're gonna show you how to install the exhaust. We've installed these two bolts that we've taken out for the muffler. You will have to cut this off. You can grind it, cut it off with Sawzall. If you want, you can take this pipe off and clean it up really nice. But this is a bracket that holds the band for the OEM muffler. We put these back in. I would suggest you have two people. You can do it with three people. You're gonna get a supplied gasket and 3 bolts. So this is your gasket that you're gonna get, and you're gonna get 3 M8 stainless hex bolts with all the washers. All right, so we have the exhaust. We're gonna go ahead and put it in. We're gonna put the supplied gasket that we include, the bolts with the washers. And if you put one in first, that kind of holds it in place. As you can see, I'm holding the other end here. That's why it's a lot easier for two people, but you can do it with one. And you're gonna put the other washer on the other end of all 3 of those bolts. So you have a washer here and a washer on this side too. Do not tighten it up. So you're gonna slide this bracket. When you slide it in, you're gonna slide it over this. And you're gonna use the supplied bolt that we give you. I believe it's a M10 by 30 or 35. And you're gonna put it in that bottom hole right there. Now remember, if you do not have an AC bracket, you're going to use this spacer to emulate this bracket. The spacer would go here if you do not have this bracket. Then at that point, you're going to go ahead and tighten it up, put this back. We recommend using a screwdriver, put it in here to pry around it. Make sure you tighten both of them. Line up your exhaust gasket, tighten those up, all 3 of those. If you notice here, we've braced. Usually this is where the exhaust cracks. It's also braced here as well. And then there's also braced back here as well. So this will not move at all. I highly suggest that you wipe this down with some acetone and get your fingerprints off, because as that heat cycles, it will stain this. So wipe it down with acetone, then start your car up, and you're good to go.